Free Oscar López now!
Free Oscar López now!
Free Oscar López now!
Free Oscar López now! Free Oscar López now!
Free Oscar López now!
Free Oscar López now!
Free Oscar López now!
My name is Oscar Rivera. I'm from Puerto Rico. I moved to San Francisco City and I'm here. Y estoy aquí apoyando la liberación de Oscar López. I want Oscar López free. He's held prisoner because he wants the freedom for his country. Like everybody wants the freedom for his country. He fought for that and they imprisoned him and they haven't been able to prove anything. Puerto Rico is a twilight zone right now. It's our government. We are part of US, but we are not here. US doesn't hear us. We don't have voice. We are a colony of United States. Yes, they're still colonies today. I'm for freedom for Puerto Rico, yes, and Oscar López. I believe in freedom for all countries and independence, but I know that takes a lot of responsibility and work before being able to do so. Actually, you can find more multinationals in Puerto Rico per mile square than in US. Yes, it's crazy how you see all big companies like killing small business, and like the economies and everything is just ruled by US, and privatization is a big deal there, and I feel like we haven't been able to learn how to manage our economy. So I think that's one of the biggest problems right now there. Everything is privatized. Nothing is ours anymore.
And an obligation for the working class to support us. So welcome, Jack Heyman.
Thank you, Ricardo. Before I was in the Longshore Union, I was a member of the National Maritime Union in New York City. That was the largest maritime union in the United States at one point. A large percentage of that membership were Puerto Rican. The crew members were, to a large extent, from Puerto Rico. And that's where I first learned about the case of Oscar López. The United States government tries to say that he is a terrorist and that's why he's in prison. The fact of the matter is, he was fighting for the liberation, the independence of Puerto Rico. He is not the terrorist. The terrorists are the United States government that militarily took over the island of Puerto Rico, attempted to take over the island of Cuba and the islands of the Philippines. And that was during the Spanish-American War at the turn of the last century. Over 250,000 Filipinos were massacred by the American government in the Philippines, and thousands were killed in Cuba and Puerto Rico in the takeover of those islands. What Oscar López stands for is for independence for his island. It's a fundamental duty of trade unionists and class struggle activists to stand in solidarity with Oscar López. There are many, many political prisoners in this country today, and he stands in the forefront, along with Mumia Abu-Jamal and many, many more. So let's one more chant for Oscar López.
So now I want to introduce you to a Puerto Rican activist and a leader. Her name is Vilma Ortiz, and he's an attorney and an activist for civil rights and human rights. Welcome, Vilma.
Good evening, everybody. It's really good to see so many people to come out today. We're here for a very special reason. It's been 34 years too long since Oscar López Rivera has been imprisoned by the U.S. government. He's one of the longest political prisoners the U.S. is currently housing. I want to thank everyone for coming out. I want to draw the attention to a recent book that has come out. It's called War Against All Puerto Ricans. This is the result of being a colony since 1898 of Puerto Rico. They're a colony of the United States since 1898. There's been a war against all Puerto Ricans, whether you're independistas, whether you're become an international symbol against imperialists, against the U.S. hegemony, and we are here to get him released. 34 years. I urge everyone to take a look at this book, War Against All Puerto Ricans, to learn more about the hidden history behind Oscar López Rivera. It is very important that we all know about it. I was spoken this.
A little bit of Mary all night long, a little bit of Jessica, here I am.
I spoke to the author today, and he said that right now Puerto Rico, the entire island, because of the amount of unemployment, people leaving the island, is being gentrified by the Wall Street bankers. They're, just as they did in the early 20th century, they are taking the resources, snapping up properties, and really making people who are native-born Puerto Rican unable to live in their own homeland. And if you think this can't happen to you here in the U.S., as you buy stuff at the back and you go and shop at Forever 21, I have news for you. Look up the history of Detroit, because this is what's happening. Puerto Rico is a bellwether. It's the canary in the coal mine. And if you think it won't happen here, I got news for you. It will happen. The blueprint is Puerto Rico. So please inform yourselves. Please come out again tomorrow at Lake Merritt at 11 a.m. We're going to be in front of the Oakland Public Library. We are part of a national campaign. This is happening across the country, especially tomorrow. 34 years too long. We are demanding the release of Oscar López Rivera before Obama leaves his administration. Thank you all for being here, and I'm in solidarity with all of us.
Yeah, my name is Denise. Oh, Oscar. Oh, he's our hero. We love Oscar. The point is that one of the things that I have to remind people here that Oscar's not asking us to get him out. We're asking him to get him out. He's our hero. He's the man that we want back with us. He serves enough time. His comrades have been gone forever. Obama, I always wanted to think he was one of us. So, I don't know, we're down to the wire. Well, you know, back 15 years ago or so, President Clinton let a few go. He offered them a deal, and many of them took the deal. But Oscar, his integrity, his determination is far more than mine will ever be, and he refused the deal. He says, let me go free or I won't go.
Oscar López now.
Free Oscar López now.
Free Oscar López now.
Free Oscar López now.
Free Oscar López now.
Se puede, se puede. Free.
I'm Doug Minkler, the maker of this poster I have in my hand.
Held by the United States.
I'm here in solidarity with Oscar López Rivera, in solidarity with those who had hoped for independence from the United States for the last 30 years. And I'm trying to get Oscar out of jail. A big goal. I'm not used to asking the President of the United States for anything because it's like throwing your voice away, but in this case, there's not too many options short of breaking him out of jail. So we're trying to get the President, as he exits, to do something right.
Why do you think they're keeping him in jail after so many years?
I have a very hard time figuring it out. I think he was rebellious and unapologetic, and I think that's what made him be the one they wanted to keep in jail. But at this point, I see no benefit to the United States.
Free Oscar! You know, we're here today. There are many, many criminals walking free in the United States. You know, just to take one example of the criminality of the system, is that in 2010, the government made an agreement with Wachovia Bank, which is now part of Wells Fargo. And Wachovia Bank agreed to a settlement that said they had laundered $378 billion in Mexican drug cartel money. Not one of them went to jail. General Motors, because of a defect in its cars that they all knew about, has killed more than 200 people. And the government knows who's responsible for that. But no one has gone to jail. No one has been arrested for it. Going to jail in the United States is entirely based on your relationship to the system that exists. And Oscar López Rivera was rebelled against the system that exists here and the system of colonialism that dominates his country and has dominated it now for hundreds of years. He's not in jail because of any criminal act. He's not a criminal, he's a freedom fighter. He's one who stood for liberation, and he's rejected the deals that the government has offered him because it would mean compromising, from his point of view, the stand that he has taken. We should all give our support, and anyone who can hear through all this garbage, to give your support to free Oscar López Rivera now. Thank you.
So, people like Desmond Tutu, the Nobel Prize winner from South Africa, Carlos Alberto Esquivel, the former and current governors of Puerto Rico, such as Alejandro Garcia Padilla, the American Federation of Labor approved Resolution 51 in 2013, demanding his unconditional release. So, everybody that is a worker, that is a trade unionist, that is listening to me, has the responsibility of demanding freedom for Oscar López, because even the AFL-CIO, his assembly, in his convention in 2013, has demanded his freedom. Free, free, free. Oscar López, now, now, now. 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 Viva Puerto Rico libre. Our experiences in the struggle has been various, and we have been struggling for victory. I want to welcome Dr. Bob Price, a fighter at City College, member of FAT chapter over there, and you're a member also of the group that is defending City College against privatization. Welcome, Dr. Price.
Thank you, Ricardo, and thank you everyone for being out here to call for the freedom for Oscar López Rivera. We know that Puerto Rico is what a lot of people who've studied history, the Puerto Rican people would be considered a nation. This is under the criteria of Lenin, who many years ago, when the Soviet Union was forming, talked about what it means to be a nation. And we believe that the Puerto Rican people are a nation and have the right to self-determination. So Oscar López Rivera was doing exactly what he has a right to do, to fight for freedom for his people. And like so many other people who fight for freedom, what does the U.S. government do? Imprison them. We know his case, the case, I see signs here from Umi Abu Jamal, who the government is now trying to kill through denial of proper medical care and attention. We also know about Leonard Peltier, who fought for the rights of his people to be a nation. We know also in Mexico, the Mexican government, an ally of the U.S. government, carries out the same terrible policies, inhumane policies against the people. In Mexico, Nestora Salgado, an indigenous woman who is a dual citizen, both in the U.S. and Mexico, has been in prison for leading a community police force in her native community, which is allowed under Guerrero state law, but she has been in prison for now almost 2 years for having done that. So I'm here to say, let's free Oscar López Rivera and let's free all political prisoners and freedom fighters now.
Oscar López now! Free Oscar López now! Free Oscar López now!
Free Oscar López now!
Free Oscar López now!
Free Oscar López now!
Oscar López now!